Okay. Let me get rid of my gum. Okay, everybody. So really happy to see you all. Super excited to be here. So we're going to go around for everybody really quick. Do a drop-in of basically how was the month, how's your practice going, what you noticing. A lot of times what I've been discovering is it's the stuff that's happening like in the real world that, just by putting some intention toward working with the different beings or whatever, there's shifts in what's happening in the real world. So just a presence to that, and anything that you want to share about this month and how this month has been for you. And then also to drop in on this inquiry. What is your inquiry? If you had access to all of the mediumship mentors that there are here, to these personal guides of each one of us, what would be a question, an inquiry that you would have for right now, and it can be for personal, for your practice, for the collective, whatever it is that's on your plate, what you're inquiring about. One of us will have an opportunity to have that as your question going in, and then it'll give us some pieces to be pulling information for. Okay, who wants to go first?
I can go first.
You're big in my screen. I was going to call on you.
Okay. So at the retreat, Hathor was my mediumship mentor. Mm-hmm. And now it's Jesus that's stepping forward.
Okay.
But I don't know if he's my mediumship mentor. So on my altar, I have Mother Mary, Jesus, and Hathor. Mm-hmm. And I sat by my altar and I asked the main guide to step forward, and it was Jesus.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so maybe, for now it's like I've worked with Hathor and now she's like gone and now it's Jesus stepping forward.
Great.
So,
yeah. And are you okay with that?
It's great.
Okay, good. You sound a little bit like
it's a bit confusing, or I try not to see it like that. Just like, okay, now it's I don't have to maybe know right now exactly how it's set up, or I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to have that open mind, and just to be present to what's showing up, right? Is a lot of what this work is, and we might want it to look a certain way, or we might be confused by it, but then we get what we want, what we get, right?
Yeah.
And
something quite amazing happened, because as I wrote on Facebook, I called, before I knew it was Jesus, I called him the Wild One. Mm-hmm. And now I've got guidance to create a program called The Wild Woman. So
that's great.
Yeah, so I think it's like, it can be him. I like see a, I don't know. So.
Yeah. So you're receiving guidance on a program that you're going to build out. and you're developing this, different current of energy.
Yeah.
Great. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so if you are going to request an inquiry, a question, what would that be?
Not really sure. I was thinking about asking a question about more general, like what do we as channels on Earth need to know at this moment, at this time?
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So good to see you. Who's next? Zoe.
Okay, I've been voluntold.
How was your month, Zoe?
It's been amazing. I did do more of the meditations before I left. But this trip has been very healing, and it's just in the experiences. I've been traveling with my mother, who read the angel book, and like really that was transformational for her. So we've been doing prayers every night.
Wow.
We've been talking about angels and spirits, and I just did some healing with a doctor spirit healing with her.
Yay!
And
Nice.
yeah, it's been really cool, and I've really been feeling like my energy shift in this last month, like it's been really cool, and I've just been praying for like the right experiences to come in and whatever it is that I need, and I think that's really been happening. It's been ended up just having the right people and experiences coming in, going to like all these really super spiritual places in Bali with really cool energy, waterfalls and really ancient temples and caves and things, which has been super amazing, and just like sacred natural spaces, and like feeling the energy from like banyan trees and caves, and like, really it's been really cool, and did like the traditional Hindu ceremony at Tirtha Empul, the water temple where you purify yourself, and kind of prayed and asked to be consecrated and purified for like divine work, whatever it is that my soul is supposed to do in this lifetime. And that was like incredibly powerful. So just really feeling things like shift in a really beautiful way, and feeling much more into like trusting myself and where I'm at, and sort of the divine support that's around. So that's been really, really cool. It's been like a very less around, I haven't been doing as many meditations while I've been away, but lots of prayer and lots of like spiritual experience, which has been really cool.
Yeah. Yay. That's great, Zoe.
Yeah.
So exciting. And so if you had a question, what would it be?
I'd say maybe a little bit more of a question for me, but also for all channels. Whereas how does this work fit in to be of service? What's the greater context for why are we even channeling in the world at this time? Like what's really like, what's the big why behind what we do? Just a little bit of a bigger understanding of how this fits.
Great.
I feel like there's some information that kind of wants to come through in that area. So
perfect. Yay, can't wait. All right, who's next? Thanks, Zoe.
I'll go.
Kevin.
Oh,
so great to see you guys.
Yeah. So, well, Hi, all of you. So I'll first share, like, I haven't done much of the practice, and I mean, I've been really busy, and it's an interesting kind of phase for me. I'm coming to the end of my chiropractic program, and like 2 weekends ago, I had my final part of my national board testing, and then the weekend after that, I had this other energetically intensive experience, like an intimacy workshop with an after party, and like, so the last like couple of weeks have been a lot of processing, a lot of I don't know, stress and strain, and then in the final push, last 2 weeks of my clinical requirements, getting my numbers to graduate. So I graduate and 2 weeks after that, I move out of my place that I've been living for however long. And then from there, I have as much clarity of where I'm going to go for the first week. I just got like, okay, I can stay at my mom's for the first week, and I can unload some stuff and store it in her garage. And my partner and I are gonna, then we'll figure out where we're going. We just have a little, money saved up, and it's kind of an unknown. It's exciting, and it's scary and all that. So that's the tone of where I'm at. And then, so as far as like the work, I didn't actually listen to the video until like 2 days ago. And like earlier this week, and like I've had good experiences though. And even the week of when I had the national board exam, which it's a big deal if I fail, it's a costly thing. It would set me back like 6 months. And Jesus came through in the beginning of the week, and he just gave me this whole like, don't worry about it basically, and just put me at ease. And it was wonderful. And was also like, don't worry about the practices. Like, you don't need to do them right now. You're good. Like, and like, there's basically like, you're going to pass. It's all going to be taken care of. Like, you're going to be held. It was really graceful. And I wasn't able to go into freak out at all because I could just rest in that knowing. And then this week, it just kind of came back up. Hey, don't forget about the work. And like my mediumship mentor came through like on Wednesday or something and was like, don't forget about the work. We'll be working with you tomorrow. And so Thursday night this week, I listened to the video. I was grateful that it was short. I was like, oh, this is really, adjustable and easy. And it was beautiful too, because I hadn't been using the stone, which the shungite, which we got. I was keeping that on me at all times when we go into the health center where I see patients, which can be very challenging. And so hadn't used it in a couple of weeks. And through the process of, connecting, and like, I was just, like, get the stone and use it, keep it with you. I don't make things. And I just had this process of connecting first with my mediumship mentor, which I don't have like a strong desire of like who you are. All I know is a voice comes in, and there's this knowing mediumship mentor. Great. And that was effective. And but what came up too was some of the first things like, you're a little dusty, like a little dusty, because I've been doing I've been doing some qigong, but not as much as I'd like to, and I haven't been doing channeling practices. So they were like, kind of like, hey, you need to do some work. Right. But I did some qigong yesterday and this morning, and I feel a little bit more supported. And so feeling excited to be, have the space to be here with you guys. And I guess my question, like decisiveness is coming up for me, and like, how can I access part of me that just, like that fierce part of me? How can I receive more support and information around being in alignment with my power as like a masculine force, and creator of my life.
Great. This is so many great words, Kevin. I was writing it down. How to access fierce receiving alignment of masculine force creator.
Love it.
That's great, Kevin. And, you know, we're in this container for a year, right? So there will be times for each one of us when we just are like, life, right? And so just know it's okay. Everything's going to be there. So you can go back to everything. Everything is feeding everything else. There's a flow. And in all of this, there's going to be times, I think Kyle had said, hopefully he'll listen to this, that he had taken a week off, and great. Like, it's important for us to also take breaks. And sometimes in the midst of the break is when you get these breakthroughs. It's when you're not doing the practices sometimes that then all of a sudden somebody shows up and is like, hey, I got some information for you. Here's what you need to know. And here's what's going down. And here's how you need to practice, or here's the next level, or whatever that is. And sometimes, you know, we can wear ourselves out with this kind of work. So it can be intensive. And when life is intensive already, we might not have the full on space for it all the time. And it's important to honor where we're at and be like, okay, this is where I'm at. You know, I'm in this Taoist program, and the level of practice that is being suggested is pretty fucking intense. And I'm like, have, you know, hit these times of, you know, I'm traveling and all this, I'm like taking these times of like backing off and taking part, right? Taking like some of the teaching and engaging with some of the teaching in this particular way or another, but doing it in maybe shorter bursts, or not like everything that we've learned this whole year, I'm doing it all at once, which is going to take, you know, 2 hours at a time, twice a day. That just isn't really, sometimes it's more effective to do a shorter dose. So listen to yourself. You're okay. You're doing great. Thanks, Kevin. Nikki?
Yes, that's a perfect segue, because it describes my life right now. May was rough. May was a rough month for me. I think it was like the perfect storm of, I'd been going nonstop, and then just had like a couple of months of really, really busy stuff. And then doing all the work that we had done in our group had brought up so many things, and it was moving through quickly. Like, I was, you know, getting all these like, okay, here are limiting beliefs and things like that. And so it would like hit me, and I'd be like, okay, I get it now. And then I would have a day where I'm like, all right, I need to feel all the feelings about this. And I was like, okay, next one. And then it'd get hit again. And it was just like, it's just been really emotionally overwhelming, and then just physically overwhelming with just this time of year. So yeah, it has been a struggle. And it's like my mind is definitely fighting. But like you said, if I gave myself a couple of days, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to like, you know, chill and not try to force it. And that was really helpful, because then it, you know, whatever needed to come up kind of came in. I got, you know, little signs and messages and things like that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that is, right? That's what this is. Here's how to think about this differently. And so that's been really helpful. But because of that, I feel like I don't feel like I have a really solid foundation yet with my mediumship mentor. I get a very clear physical sense. Like, that's great. How I get a sense of like, oh, okay, that's them. I don't know anything about, but I can feel it. Like, something shifts in my body. I can feel it in my body. I'm like, okay, so I know that it's there. So I'm just trying to be patient with that. And I think the other thing that's been coming up is that, like, I'm in a time of real transition. And I think that that's what this, like, being part of this work is here to help me do, is to like go beyond just I just need to change this one habit. It's like, it feels like it's going to be a very radical shift, especially in terms of my work. And so I think part of me has been like the child of like, but I don't want to, this is so hard, throwing a little temper tantrum. So I think my question is really about like,
a little bit about integration, but how I can be supported in shifting, right? How I can, lean into it a little bit more, how I can just, be a little bit more allowing with it. And instead of trying to figure out what to do next with my brain, of like getting some guidance of like what would actually help me with this kind of transition and what's next.
Great. Brilliant. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah. So I'll just a little drop in about what's going on for me. It's just been super crazy since the retreat. It's just been really nonstop and a lot of traveling. So I've been from LA to San Diego to LA to Portland to Vancouver, Canada to England. So since I've seen you guys. And and so within that, there's been a lot of like a deeper and deeper leveling into trust and accepting what's like, I feel like I'm just riding a wave of being brought to different places and just doing what I do and being okay with what's happening and being okay with really a way deeper level of trust than I've ever witnessed in myself before. So that's been really fascinating to just see that. And so that's where I'm at and where I have been, and looking at creation, a lot of creative energy coming in, and a lot of calling in support and structure and getting a lot of guidance around what the things that are coming to do next, and a lot of business advice that is coming in really interesting ways, and coming in ways that are unexpected. So that's what I've been sitting with. And so, within that, I think my question would be around I think it's almost like Nikki's saying, how to receive more support, how to be more in alignment, like what's missing, what am I missing, of being in a higher state of alignment toward being able to do this work in a higher and higher standard of ethical, professional consideration, I think is what's really present for me right now. Okay, so we've got, about an hour to drop in. Does anybody need to take a bathroom break before we start?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, we're gonna take a 2-minute bathroom break.
Okay, I might turn I don't have a ton of battery, so I might turn my video off.
Okay.
If that's okay with the group.
Okay, Zoe. We'd rather have you here than anything.
I'm not sure how I would plug it in where I am. So
Okay, no problem.
And I can't with my headphones. So
okay,
I'm here.
Thanks, Zoe. Okay, everybody. So let's prepare ourselves here. Let's start with just taking some deep breaths, stretching out the spine. So opening up the wings, opening up the front of the chest, opening the front of the throat, and going the other way and stretching out the back and the back of the neck, and stretching the front, and stretching the back, and stretching the front, and stretching the back. And let's shake it out. Big inhales in, big exhales out. Okay. Let's do some swipes here. So third eye, crown, eyes, ears, nose, mouth again, throat, heart, chest, down the arms, back, kidneys, down the legs. Great. And let's do some tapping to the forehead and breathe in through the third eye. Bringing a brilliant light, a brilliant golden light in through the third eye. Bring it in all the way to the center of the skull. And then exhale out the third eye. In through the third eye. Out the third eye. And then bring the fingers up to the crown. Come in through the third eye, breathe in. Breathe out the crown. Breathe in the third eye. Breathe out the crown. And then back of the skull. Breathe in the third eye. Breathe out the back of the skull. Right at the occiput. Breathe into the center of the brain through the third eye. Breathe out the back of the skull. And make sure you're getting all the way, the whole back of the skull, all the way to close to the ears. Breathe in the third eye. Breathe out the back of the skull. And then tapping from the skull down to the shoulders, clearing the chimney. Using some big breaths to clean it up all the way up. Witness any soot, any old information releasing off of your back, off the back of the neck. Releasing up and out. Anybody else's energy off your system. Just keep clearing and clearing until you feel very, very pure white light starting to rain down through the back of the head, the back of the skull, the back of the neck. And just breathe into the area encompassing the back of the skull all the way through the little bit into the neck, and just witness a beautiful white light streaming into the area. Cleansing and purifying this channel. Beautiful. And just dropping in and smiling down the front of the body. one is fun. And allowing a beautiful golden light to stream forward off of your body. Everything smiling down like a golden mist and resting on the earth. Just let your breath guide you, guide the energy. And smiling everything down the back of the body. And as you do that, just wiggling your shoulders, stretching them up to your ears and releasing them, releasing any tension in the back of the shoulder blades, the back of the neck. And smiling everything out behind you. Golden mist reaches out as far as it can and then settles down to the earth. And then that golden mist travels down the center of the body, and as it comes in contact with the different organs, they dissolve into golden light, coming down the center of the body and collecting as a mist all along the earth, around your feet. And 2 is Shu, just witnessing that mist start to melt into the earth. Like you're pouring water on very dry soil. It's just sucking into the earth in every direction. And 3 is tree. And allow the spiraling rooting cords to start to wind down through the base of the pelvis, through the base of the feet, down through the center of the earth, through all of the layers. And just imagine that at the tiny tips of the roots that you are, as they get smaller and smaller, that you're smiling through the little root tips into the earth. And as you get close to the center of the earth, she smiles back her pleased disposition at you. And that smile from the center of the earth starts to radiate up through your roots, traveling up towards the center of your body to 4 is core. And just a light little tug at the base of the pelvis, maybe drop your tail a little bit more and open up the back, the low back a little bit more. Drawing earth energy into the belly and letting it roll there. As it rolls, just connecting to that energy center from the earth, drawing up on the inhale. And then letting that energy splash against the back of the sacrum. And then start to rise up the spine, over the crown of the head, placing the tongue at the roof of the mouth, behind the teeth. And on the exhale breath, it drops down the front of the body. And then just allowing yourself to be witness of the movement of the energy up from the earth, rolling in the belly, up the spine and down the front. Breathing on the inhale up, and on the exhale, settling it back down. Feeling the wave happen inside your body. And the wave is growing in power and force, like the waves of the ocean, until it starts to rise up through the central channel, flooding the heart and traveling out your palms. This brilliant light is shining forward into the room. And then witness it shining backward, all behind you. And shining to the sides and above and below. Keep feeding the energy up from the earth, into the belly, up the spine, down the front, to the heart, and out the hands. And then let it be a little bit easier and a little bit more powerful. And the energy collecting in the room is becoming more and more dense and thick, so that you can feel yourself just as you breathe, taking a deep breath in, you can feel the density around your body. And settle into that like you are settling into a super squishy beanbag chair that forms all around your body. As you press into it, you can feel its resistance. And 7 is heaven. Keep anchoring down into the earth and start to raise the crown to your star, calling on the divine light, your purest potential. Allowing yourself to radiate your energy up. Keep pressing the energy up and up and up. And as it touches into the star, a brilliant white light floods into you. 8 is gate. Inhale, breath, pull up golden light energy from the earth. Exhale, pull down white light from above. And in your body, the gold and the white start to merge. And they merge into the central channel. And it's growing brighter and brighter and brighter. Activating and turning on your chakras, your gates. Allowing you to pull in energy and light through all of the pores of your body to your central channel. Keep packing the energy in. And the light becomes brighter and brighter until you have no choice but to shine like the brightest star in the night sky. And from this place of brilliance, connection, devotion, and presence, we activate the 3 invocations as we call upon the divine presence that we are to cleanse and purify our minds, our bodies, and our egos. My will is thy will. And as we call upon the guardians of the 4 directions, our guides and teachers, to create a safe and sacred container for this work here today, we call in the most sacred place that we can think of. From holy place to holy place, make this a holy space. And anchor that in. And then calling upon the divine presence that we are, we ask to be filled with overflowing energy, compassion, and love. As we call upon and invoke the presence of our guides and teachers, mediumship mentors, beings of the love and light, angels, and those that support us on this path. We are gathered today in collective to access higher planes of consciousness for the purpose of guidance, illumination, and healing for ourselves as individuals, as a collective group, here to serve humanity, and for the collective of humanity as a whole, in service to all beings in all places and all times. We are here to make inquiry as to what we as channels need to know at this time about this work and how it is that we are to be of service. Why are we doing this? What is our big why? We are also seeking individual illumination on our own decisiveness in our lives of how to access our fierce receiving and to come into alignment, to find our masculine force and creator matrix, and also how to receive and be in support, how to release ourselves to receiving support in shifting our behaviors and our lives in ways that bring us into higher alignment with divine will, and higher integrity, and higher ethical conduct, and higher service to people and planet. We welcome your information, your guidance and illumination for these questions and any others that are running in the background that you are aware of. We ask for protection from Archangel Michael. We call upon the blue light to hold this container in safe, protective stream, allowing no discordant energies to enter into this space. We are only connecting to energies of divine source, light, and love. Whew. Whew.
Mother Mary is showing me suffering people on the earth. See someone holding a light candle in the dark.
I got a written message. You are all trying very hard. You do not have to try so much. You need to allow us to help you work. This is not yours to do alone. Do not make it about you. It is about all there is. You are a part of something bigger. You must do your part. You do not need to do it all. Even small parts are important.
Kevin, I just keep getting these images of you being in the forest and running in the forest, like really moving your body a lot.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of physical exercise. And then I also keep getting an image of almost like you on like a slack line of like this, it's about balance. and being called into this higher level of balance within yourself, which is what I think you're asking about in some way. That there's a piece around this further integration of like resting in the trust of receiving, and this like feminine presence of allowance and allowing, and then the piece around like the decisive creation is actually coming through the physical body, like through movement, like moving your body and being in nature, and like just being in that process of being very, very embodied is where the creation and the creativity is fueled from, and to like be pushing it a little bit harder as far as like physical movement and exercise.
I also got to add on that. I asked, how can we do our part? And I got, listen, do not decide. It is obvious if you listen, but you often think you are listening when you are really thinking and not allowing.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. Mm. 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 Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You've opened to the call of service. Be of the call of service in a world of suffering can be an overwhelming and at times confusing path. Know that you are being deeply reorganized to come into a higher alignment with the service that you are called into. All around, there is great suffering. Those that create it, those that receive it, and pass it on. It is a very hard, hard world for many of the people on this planet. Being in your sensitive awareness, it is at times hard to understand how you could be helping in the midst of so much turmoil, so much chaos and upheaval. Yes, there are the actions that you take. You are being requested to take action of offering, to take action of giving, being your service in the world. There is also an aspect of simply being that you are being requested to step into. This is that space of trust, of receiving, of awareness of your own connection to the divine. that is often a challenge. But it is a necessary aspect of the service that you are here to fulfill. Know that by anchoring in divine frequency through your body, through your field, through your action, your words, your prayers, your thoughts, you are in support of a shift of consciousness that streams around the planet. As many have come to clear their karmic loads, their debts, you will be in witness of great suffering. And at times, all you can do is to stand in the light and be, as it has been witnessed, that flame, that candle in the darkness. You're all being called into a higher state of balance and integrity and right relationship with each other, with the planet, with all beings, if it is chosen. If you accept, you get to be a voice for the light, a voice for love, a voice for devotion, a voice for healing, for compassion, for kindness. What more is a channel? It is a voice for the voiceless expression of divine light and love. This is the calling, this is the service. It might seem too simple. It might even be too easy. And so you will make constructs around it to make it more challenging, to try harder, to work harder, to do more, instead of be more. Here, in that moment, in this moment, you get to choose to step into greater alignment with allowing yourself to receive the divine love and light and love yourself more. To see your place in the collective as a pillar, as a bringer of the light for others who stand in darkness. To show the way of what is possible when one chooses to forgive, to love, to be kind, to be the expression, the voice, the channel of light, of love, of human potential. We are sorry that at times it will seem too difficult, and at times it will seem too easy, and you will try to fix it in both directions and come up empty-handed. So keep a light heart, a gentle touch on yourself, a joyful expression throughout it all. Laugh. Laugh at yourself. Laugh at the divine. Laugh at the folly that surrounds you. Approach each day with a childlike wonder at your experience, at being able to be both in this human form and connected to the light. Within that wonder, that laughter, you will find more light. Within that, you will radiate more, and others will receive more. Try not to be so serious. It is weighing you down and making you heavy. Try not to criticize yourself for what you are not getting right, what you have left undone, what you have not succeeded at yet. Be. If you be as you are, you will know your purpose. With no need to chase, no need to change in some ways. An acceptance, which is peace.
There is a new way of being and working that is present for you all. There is a threshold that is being crossed. You are all leading in ways that you cannot yet fully see and understand. Trust, trust, trust. This will prove to be a fruitful experience for you all, but you must trust. It will look very different for each of you, so do not judge. Be in community of trust and support. You are here to help us connect and support others in new ways. This can be an exciting time.
Ja. Ja. Mm.
And just if there's anything else that's needing to come forward. Zoe, you have anything?
Not this time.
Eva, anything you want to share?
Thank you. Nothing special.
Okay. Kevin? Anything wishing to be voiced in words?
I just I feel your heart, Catherine, and how hard you work, and
Anything else? Nikki, I know you got something over there.
Yeah.
What do you got, Nikki?
I got a lot of writing today. It was coming much more easily today. And I don't know if this is for just me or for everyone, but it's not always about sharing and doing for others. That is part of your problem. You go immediately to others and skip over yourself. It must be about you first before you can share and do with others. Do not feel so rushed. You are always working for the highest good when you are first fully receiving for yourself. Dedication and reverence to yourself. There's so much more happening than you realize.
Beautiful, thank you. Nikki, will you please type up what you've received, since you have such a nice receiving on the writing?
Sure, yeah.
Will you post that in the group for us?
No problem.
Great, thank you. All right. So, we sit in gratitude. We offer our humble thanks from our hearts for all of our guides and teachers, for all the beings of light. We are so grateful to be allowed the presence of divinity in our lives, to know grace. In whatever capacity that we allow ourselves to receive it. Thank you for working on us today, for shifting our frequencies, for working in our energy bodies, for opening our hearts. We ask that any and all work toward healing, opening, and integration continue with ease in the coming days. And we stand as a community together in service, in devotion. And we thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing us to do this work in the world and develop each and every day. We release you from this space, from this place. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And shaking that off. And swiping. And making sure to get the kidneys and the arms and the legs. Okay. So arms up and down the front, closing down the channel down the front of the body. Arms up and bringing down the front, closing down the back. And then arms up and hand over hand, closing down the center, down to the crown. And then just closing down the third eye, over the eyes, ears, the back of the skull, the back of the neck, the throat, on the heart. And just take that to the kidneys and everybody breathe in the deepest night sky. Deepest, darkest night sky. And breathe the color of the deepest, darkest night sky into your kidneys. Filling them up with a cool, cool, deep, dark sky. You are being requested to rest. Each of you. And me.
Yes.
Might specifically be for me.
Yeah.
But there is some serious rest that needs to go on, and stop. There's a criticism for rest is not helpful. So just everyone drink a bunch of water today and rest. Take some good rest today. At least give yourself some quiet, laying flat rest. Anybody else? Got anything? Wow. How did that feel?
That was just so helpful for me. I feel like I've been scattered all over the place. So just the container of everybody's energy just felt like I felt so supported, more so and more connected than I have in a couple of weeks. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it just felt like a lot of a really beautiful energy coming in, and like a lot of like nurturing. Like, let's hold. Why not just hold you guys? Like, all you need is just to let us hold you. It was kind of the deal. Just like stop being so in the head and just like be in the frequency. Was sort of the like vibe of like stop trying to figure it out. Just be in the frequency.
It's a wonderful way to put it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys are so cool. I love you so much. Okay, so I'll post this within the next couple of days. Let's see, it's Saturday. So by Monday, I will have the next module posted. I'm currently in process of figuring out a new web portal format. I've been working on this for quite a while now, so I've been making some decisions finally. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, sometime this month maybe, I actually am going to be probably shifting you guys over to a new page, and hopefully it'll be more beautiful and more spectacular and more easy. So yeah, so we'll start on our next module. I'll get those up by the beginning of the week, and there'll be more questions and more stuff. And just encouraging everybody. Eva was so amazing this month, and she really posted some stuff about her process and her progress and what was coming up for her and things she was doing and reading and so on. So I encourage everybody to do that too, because it just gets you kind of out of the day-to-day and get you back on track of like, this is what's like, it, you know, it's really helpful to be tracking what's going on, because it's, like I said, it's not just in the meditation. It's not just in the thing where you're receiving the thing. It's actually in the daily life where you have the realization that, oh, right, this is a thing. This is the program I'm going to run. This is the, like, it's those things that are coming in that we often discount, and we don't think that we're receiving anything. And then, but if we start writing it down and journaling about it and putting it in the group, then we're like, we're all going to have those moments where we feel disconnected. We're all going to have those moments when we doubt ourselves again. We're all going to have those moments when we're like, what the fuck? So tracking the stuff, writing it down, and starting to go, oh no, actually me getting this message about doing the program, that's me receiving. Me getting the message to go and eat this food or do this thing, that's me receiving. Me getting the message to go to this event and I met this person, like start tracking those things too. Start tracking the small synchronicities and the things that you're seeing out there in the world, the people that you're meeting, the books that are jumping off the shelves at you, the things that are happening in the world that you're having this heightened awareness of what's going on, right? Like Zoe and going to the temple and receiving this blessing and like the frequency of it, right? Start to get more comfortable with bringing words to the frequencies that we're receiving. The transformations that we're receiving are often really subtle. They're things that don't just smack us in the face, thank God. So there are subtle things that are happening. There are subtle shifts in our consciousness, subtle shifts in our awareness, subtle shifts in the way that we're engaging with the world, subtle shifts of all kinds of things, right? So that's where the gold is for us, is to start becoming more and more conscious of where those subtle shifts are taking place and how it's because of the actual change in our frequency that's occurring through doing the meditations, being present, being in all of the things that we're working on, and being in higher alignment with our path. Yeah. And so that's what's up. And then, I don't know, anything else? Anybody have any questions? Any comments? Anything else to say? So also in the group or whatever, like anything that you guys want to touch on, anything that you want to explore, anything that's curious to you, anything that you're like, this is what's coming up for me, anything. Feel free to post in the group. Feel free to like start discussions about, and you know, like that's what we're here for. We're here to sit in community together. So know that this is a place that this is you're being held in whatever it is that you're going through. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
And good luck, Kevin, with your move. I don't know if you're going to end up like me and 9 months later wonder why you still don't have a house. But and Zoe, enjoy Bali and your mom, and so excited to hear about everything, all the emergence. And Nikki, so glad that you're like really stepping into this new phase. And Ava, so happy to hear about your new program, and thank you, Jesus. And we're so excited. And yeah, I love you guys. And if you need anything, reach out. We're all here. We're all here together for you and for me and for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you just for
Thank you.
to add on. Just thank you for sharing what you shared, Catherine. Both the you know, personal thing. I'm actually going into the Redwoods today, and I'm so
Okay, there you go.
excited. And also just what you shared collectively, the transmission that you brought through, and how that just like for me and probably other people can feel that. So
Yeah, let's stop working so hard.
It's exactly what I've been tracking too. Like that's like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense. Bali has just been like turning off that active brain.
Yeah,
It's
it
been
does.
super helpful. Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
He's so nice.
That would be so nice.
And Bali, it must be so nice. I'm just like, I'm ready. So
well, maybe that's where you guys are headed.
It's crazy spiritual here. I might post some stuff. I don't want to be all like, oh my god, I'm on vacation. But there's just been like, it's a crazy spiritual place. You like, you end up having spiritual conversations with like everybody that you meet if you want to.
Yeah.
So
lovely.
For sure.
Yeah, lots of different energies here. It's really cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, one of the things is, Zoe, is that I've heard from the people who travel to Bali a lot, because I haven't been there, but like you really need to do a good cleaning on yourself when you leave, because it's such a strong feminine force that lives there that it kind of holds on to you. So you need to do a thorough cleaning so that you're able to leave and not be like anchored there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds
then it's
that sounds super accurate. I do feel really anchored here.
Yeah.
And there's like so many different energies.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of spirits there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do a super good cleaning like right before you get on the plane, okay?
Okay.
And then when you get home.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.